want to put your dick!
Some more horrific accusations just came out about disgraced hip-hop billionaire Diddy. But this time, they came from a source who was close to Diddy for many years. An interview clip has resurfaced on social media of a conversation with Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal. In the clip, Gene made some shocking allegations about Diddy's intentions with his girl group, Danity Kane. And what he claimed his former employer said was just sinister. And it even made Gene himself walk away in disgust. Gene claimed that Diddy told a large group of friends and colleagues in the studio what his plans for the group really were. The Bad Boy Records owner was alleged to have said that he was going to get the singers hooked on substances and then allow his associates to exploit the young women to make money for Diddy. Gene went on to say that he confronted Diddy about it. He claimed that he responded to the evil confessions by saying that the singers were all somebody's kids before walking out of the room. In the same clip, Gene revealed some more information about Diddy's relationship with Danity Kane. He believed that some of the group members were among the few artists Diddy signed who refused to sign NDAs. Gene said that it was extremely common for everyone working with major stars to have to sign non-disclosure agreements. And this was what allowed Diddy and others to act however they wanted. According to Gene, Diddy even agreed to give artists their publishing rights in exchange for their silence about scandals he was getting caught up in. However, not everyone agreed to the deal, which meant that they were able to talk about anything they wanted to. And Gene was pretty sure that at least a couple of members of Danity Kane never signed an NDA, which must have made Diddy feel threatened. When the shocking clip resurfaced recently, it was flooded with comments from people who were sickened by what they heard. One person wrote that they had to thank God that Gene himself had never signed an NDA, and that the bodyguard had been exposing Diddy for years, but only now were people realizing the truth in what he said. Another wrote that Gene had to be protected at all cost. A third commenter dropped the name of one of the old members of Danity Kane, who apparently also has been telling the truth about Diddy for a long time. That name was Aubrey O'Day. A couple of weeks ago, the singer came out in support after Cassie dropped her bombshell accusations about Diddy. Cassie made the headlines with her terrifying account of the harm she suffered at Diddy's hands for over a decade in her civil lawsuit. Although she and Diddy quickly reached a settlement, the news of what she had experienced did not go away. A short time later, Aubrey got herself involved with a supportive message on Instagram. She wrote that she had been trying to tell all of us for years. She expressed that she was praying for Cassie, who she described as a queen. And she doubled down in an interview where she told Page 6 that she was in complete support of Cassie. Aubrey had competed in Diddy's reality show, Making the Band 3. She was then chosen to join Danity Kane under his record label. However, he kicked her out during the final Making the Band 4 episode in 2008. Last December, Aubrey made a claim about the real reason she was kicked off the group. And taken into account with everything else that Diddy's been accused of, it sounds really dark. She said that she was fired because she wasn't willing to do what was expected of her. She added that she did not mean this in terms of talent, but in other areas. Aubrey went on to say that she was the only girl who was in those types of positions. However, she didn't specify what she was referring to exactly or any more details. Instead, she talked about the love-hate relationship she had with everything that she had experienced back then. Surprisingly, she confessed that she didn't think she'd have been able to be so successful in so many other areas had she not been trained under Diddy. However, she also said that he was the hardest person to work for and even described it as torture. But she was not talking about the work part of being in Danity Kane. Instead, she said that she was talking about the mind games that came along with it. She mentioned there being a lot of betrayal and lies, and added that she was young and impressionable at that time. This led to her feeling that her experience was very traumatic, and she said that none of the group have healed from it. Aubrey also seemed to echo what Gene said in his interview about NDAs. She said that the normal procedure was to sign 1 million NDAs and 1 million contracts that took your rights away. In fact, she even claimed that as recently as last September, Diddy asked her and her former bandmates to sign new NDAs. This could well have been a hint that he knew something big was coming his way from Cassie, who he broke up with in 2018. But Aubrey stated that she hit up everyone in the group to tell them to absolutely not take the deal. In her Instagram message to Cassie, Aubrey also shared some screenshots of reports about the lawsuit, sharing disturbing details in Cassie's story. Following this, she did an interview with Rolling Stone in which she talked about how hard it was to do what Cassie was doing. She said that it wasn't easy to take on one of the most powerful people in the industry and be honest about your experience, but that she knew what Cassie's heart was feeling right now because she had done the same thing. Since then, another former member of Danity Kane has come out in support of Diddy's accuser. Dawn Richard shared her own statement on social media after news of the lawsuit broke. Dawn not only performed with Danity Kane, but she was also one of Diddy's singers as part of Dirty Money. She wrote that she was praying for Cassie and her family for peace and healing. She also wrote that Cassie was beautiful and brave. It sounds like a lot of the women who worked with Diddy are of the same mind when it comes to his relationship with Cassie. But Aubrey has taken her views on Diddy even further. And what she said was crazy. In another interview, she was asked if she believed that Diddy was the one to put out the hit on Tupac. Her cryptic answer left plenty to our imagination. She said that she could not dismiss the question, but everyone knew she couldn't talk about it. However, she did reveal that she spent one of the most interesting nights of her life with Suge Knight, and that she asked him who was really behind the attack on Tupac. When asked if Suge had answered her question, Aubrey said that he had, but did not elaborate. What we can say for sure is that she did not deny it at all. After all that Aubrey has said over the years, and now that one of her bandmates is also showing support to Cassie, it's no wonder Diddy was scared of Danity Kane. So far, none of the Danity Kane singers have commented on Jean's claims about Diddy's plans for them. But like Aubrey, Jean has been working to expose Diddy for much longer than people realize. One online commenter claimed that Jean had been talking about Diddy honestly for years in interviews, but suggested that people could only take him seriously now that Cassie's lawsuit has become public knowledge. Many also had the same unsettling thought. If this was what Jean and others were willing to share freely, just imagine what might still be getting held back. With such a powerful presence in the music industry for so many years, the story of Cassie, Aubrey, and Jean may not be the last we hear about Diddy. But what do you guys think? Do people like Jean still have more secrets to tell about Diddy? Let me know in the comments below.